Mike Lee made a interesting post on Twitter today, or actually it was July 7th that he posted it. And here it is. In 1964, the minimum wage was 5 silver quarters. In 2024, 5 silver quarters have a melt value of $28.34. We don't need minimum wages. We need sound money. And then, as you can see above that, Mike Lee says, hashtag end the Fed. So I don't think minimum wage is useful at all. There was a John Stossel video that he did quite a few years ago talking about how minimum wage actually hurts the lowest wage earners, because those are the first people that are let go because they're the least valuable to companies. So teenagers would be among that. People that are just starting out in the workforce that don't really have any skills. What are you going to pay someone with 0 skills? Maybe you're not going to pay them anything, and they're going to be able to learn a skill from you and become useful. And in exchange for that usefulness, they will get more money. I think that's an equal trade, or an even equal, a good trade. And that way they can ramp up from a $0 minimum wage to a $10 minimum wage, $15 minimum wage, $100 minimum wage. Each person is different. Each skill level is different. So making a standard minimum wage is ill-advised, in my opinion. That being said, the value of our money, because it's being continually eroded every day by the Federal Reserve through its inflationary policies and the federal government in general, they are different. The Fed is not part of the government. They are a private bank conglomerate that was created in 1913 under the shadow of darkness. If you want to read an interesting book on that, The Creature from Jekyll Island tells you about the major bankers, how they had a secret meeting on Jekyll Island in connection with a couple congressmen. And then the Federal Reserve Act was actually signed into law, I think on like Christmas Eve in 1913, when most of the congressmen weren't even there. Anyway, so since 1913, we've had between 1 and 15 or 20% inflation rate, which means the value of our dollar has gone down every year between 1 and 15%. And that image shows exactly what that means. In 1964, the minimum wage was $28.34. What's the minimum wage now? The minimum wage, depending on the state, I think in Idaho it's $7 and some change, which would be one of those quarters. So it's not the money that needs to, the minimum money that needs to be changed. It's the value of the money that needs to be changed. The amount of money that is stolen from us via an inflationary tax needs to be changed. We need inflation to be 0. That way, if you're making $28 now, you can save a portion of that money, and 10 years from now, that $28 will be worth the same as it is now. And actually, the way most things, as they are produced, become more easy to produce. So usually prices go down, because inflation's going up and prices are going down, it kind of makes things seem like they're even. So if we had a static currency in that it did not inflate and did not deflate, all you would see is prices dropping even faster, which would make people much more interested in saving money, because they'll know that couch that they want now, it could be on sale next week. That TV that they really want, well, there's going to be a better one that'll come out next year, so then they can hold on for another year for that even better TV. Computers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, if we could have a president get into office who understands that the Federal Reserve has been robbing from the American people for over 100 years, and if we could have a Congress that would understand that and do something about it, then maybe we wouldn't need to worry so much about the minimum wage, so much as making sure that the value of the dollar was stable, and anyone who inflated the currency or counterfeited the currency would be seen as traitors, like they were traditionally years ago. And in the days before our country, in England, counterfeiters were actually sentenced to death. That's a pretty powerful sentence for those that are counterfeiting, but it shows how important currency stability is. But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Please comment down below. Let me know what you think. And as always, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.